What's up, guys? What's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here. And today I want to talk about Futurama Season 13. And I just want to say, I have a lot to say. So like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's jump right into it. So Futurama is definitely a show I enjoyed back in the early 2000s. Much like Family Guy or Beavis and Butthead, it's been canceled and revived multiple times. And I have to say, this latest season, it just feels right. It feels right at home. It feels like everything they're attempting to do is just keeping it simple. I feel like Rick and Morty took a lot of inspiration from Futurama, but where Rick and Morty has become somewhat convoluted with a main plot, Futurama has kept it pretty simple. This strong relationship between Leela and Fry is really the foundation of Futurama now. It is a lot of character growth from the original run of the series, where Fry was originally running away from Leela, then they were co-workers, then friends, then he fell in love with her, and then he got the girl. So to keep that fresh and interesting still today is pretty impressive. Especially whenever Futurama could have easily fallen into a trap of shows where, oh, we're showcasing the future, like the Jetsons, and then things happen that don't make sense, or things happen that actually become the future. Sort of like Back to the Future 2. It went a little not far enough in the future, because in 2015 we don't have hoverboards, we don't have flying cars. However, the year 3000 is far enough away that almost anything that happens could be believable to a degree. And don't forget, this is from the same creators as The Simpsons. The Simpsons, despite all its ups and downs, has been a very funny show for almost all of its run. I think Futurama might be a little bit funnier nowadays. Of course, we know Bender is the extreme comic relief here, whether it's some slapstick scenes from the robot or whether it's his foul-mouthed, sarcastic attitude. Bender brings the laughs. And you know what? They still make sure to mix in the general core characters here. They really haven't deviated much from the general core characters. Zoidberg, Hermes, the Professor, all come in with timely jokes and one-liners. Even Amy and Kip come along. And much like some other sitcoms, they even will have character-specific, more focused episodes involving these side characters sometimes. Futurama, when it wants to be slightly more serious or strike an emotional chord, has always found a way to do so in ways that other adult animated comedies have struggled to do. And I think a lot of it has to do with the pain of loss. There is an undertone to the fact that everybody that Fry ever knew growing up is dead. And whenever they reach back into that sort of mindset, they can really latch on to something powerful when it comes to human emotion. Despite the fact that 90% of the time it's funny, those melancholic moments really set it apart from other adult animated comedies that you just don't see. You don't see quite the melancholic moments even in a South Park or a Simpsons or a Family Guy or an American Dad. But they exist in the world of Futurama, which means it has one of the best character builds in the entire series, honestly. Character arcs that actually matter despite it being a sitcom, and characters you actually grow to love, and in a setting where they're not all family like a lot of these other sitcoms. They're friends, or they're co-workers, or couples. And so I believe that brings a little bit more of an adult attitude to the show as well. Despite the fact that a lot of the humor may seem like it's crude, a lot of the humor is actually pretty highbrow in Futurama, but not over your head either. It's not so meta and insular that it couldn't appeal to a new audience. Although I would still recommend you watch the first 12 seasons of Futurama. If you were to jump right in, I think the show is good enough to carry its own weight. So overall, I think it's a pretty good, solid season. And I would give Futurama Season 13 an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.